I've seen many people for demo, they come well prepared with the teaching aids. But when they are appointed and they go to classroom, then they feel, "Hun ki karna, hun te mil gayi naukari, chhaddo pare." Not fair. Only I am appreciating and the whole class is appreciating. There's a great difference. Sure, before you start writing on the board, it is meant for writing, it is suitable for writing, it is neat and clean and erased and all. If it is not, asking only from one side of the students and ignoring the other side is not a sign of a good teacher. Eye contact, when I say eye contact, it has to be with all who are sitting in front of you, not only one side of the class or one person in the interview room. And ensure when you are going for a demo, whatever you have prepared, stick to that. In the flow, just don't try to speak or write what you are not prepared for. You will be caught. Voice has to be appropriate, neither too high nor too low. Too high is also a problem, too low is also a problem. It has to be appropriate, and then there has to be variation in your voice. So, your font should be appropriate size, which is legible to the last student also, and your board usage should be judicious as well as eye-pleasing. Fine. But when we are going for a demo, anywhere for an interview, we should try that we should show our maximum skills. Confidence comes with preparation. If you are 100% prepared, you will be confident, and if you are confident, your body language will also be positive. If you are, first thing I told you is the introduction of the topic. It has to be good. We all have studied during our B.Ed, those who did B.Ed or NTT and all, we have to correlate the topic, maybe by doing previous knowledge testing or creating some situation in the class where the students automatically get connected with the topic which we are going to teach. Okay. Greeting the students is important. For that also, I have earlier also told you people, you have to be lively. You have to come to the class and you have to, "Hello children, how are you?" Okay. The voice and the gestures, both should convey that you are happy entering the class. If you are happy entering the class, children will also get those same vibes. Okay. If you are not happy, by your face, and the second point related to by your body language. If you are not displaying that I am happy and pleased to enter this class, I am happy to look at all of your faces, I am happy to find myself among you people, those same kind of feeling will be conveyed by the students also. They will also not feel comfortable and happy in the class. Then when you enter the class, in the classroom teaching, obviously you have to ensure that your class is spick and span. It is properly arranged and organized. May not be possible in the demo session. Like I said, there is difference. Demo session, if it is there in the office, obviously office mein to everything will be okay. If it is not a real classroom, then you can't make much change over there. But if it is a classroom, suppose somebody is taking demo in the classroom itself and the desks are not arranged properly, students are not sitting properly, there is litter in the class, you simply come and start teaching, giving your demo. This is one scenario. The other scenario is, beta, okay, set your desk properly and sit properly first of all. Okay, there's so much of the litter in the class. Just take 1 minute and pick up and throw in the dustbin. And then you start teaching. In which scenario there will be better impression? You tell me. Person will find that you are aware of the atmosphere also. Good teaching has to be in a good atmosphere. We can't expect that everything is haphazard and we are teaching very well. That is also a part of the teacher's personality, to ensure that where you are teaching, that area is worth teaching. Okay. Then, like I said, board, you people have to ensure before you start writing on the board, it is meant for writing, it is suitable for writing, it is neat and clean and erased and all. If it is not, you have to do that. Okay. And then you have to write what you are going to begin. Day, date, and this subject, class and topic, these are mandatory things. In classroom also, these have to be written. In classroom situation, what happens if, like in our school, once somebody writes in the morning, then that remains there and the other teachers keep coming and just keep changing the particulars in front of that. Okay, so it's not expected in classroom everybody will come, and if already somebody has written day, date and then name, subject, class, topic on the left hand side, then you come and know I have to erase and then I have to write my own and then I have to fill the particulars over there. Why to waste time? If it is already written, very good. But for demo situation, you will get a clean board, you have to write. Learning objectives have to be there, whether you're giving the demo or you're writing in the classroom situation. You have to mention to the point, precise learning objective which are directly related to what you're going to teach in your demo or on that particular day. That topic only. Learning objectives should never be of the whole lesson. A lesson may have 10 topics. You are not expected to write learning objectives related to all those 10 topics because you are going to teach one only in that day. And you have to ensure that that particular topic is understood by the students. So the learning objective should also be related to that particular topic only. Then this total, present and absent, classroom mein you are supposed to ensure that either it is written on the board beforehand or you are going to write yourselves. Why? Because in real classroom teaching in a school, when you enter the class, you are not sure how many students are present on that particular day. Suppose it's a class of 40, but in front of you there are 34 sitting. So how are you sure whether those 6 are present in the school or they have gone somewhere because of some reason? So what is the way to check that? If you will just see total, you will come to know 40 is the strength of the class. Then only you can compare. And present, if it is mentioned 36, but in the class you see total 34 are there, where are the 2? Obviously it is a job of the first teacher, maybe most probably the class teacher, to write on the board to ensure that in the first period itself it is mentioned on the board total, present and absent, right? So that you can ensure that as many teachers are present in the school are present in the class or not. It is important from that point of view. Then your own resource kit you have to carry, which should be having everything. Today we didn't check that. I'm going to do a surprise check, I have told you already. Use of board. Again, while taking my previous workshop for blackboard writing, I had made it clear. Use of board means you have this much of the board, full, top to bottom, right to left. Whatever content you are going to write, you have to ensure that your board is utilized wisely. Suppose if I have to write only one word, I have written that word here. For the whole lecture I have to write one word only. I'm not going to write anything more. I'm sure about that. Why not write it here? Just a small example I'm giving. If I have to write 3-4 statements, why not write them into 4 parts? So that board looks presentable always. Whenever we have written anything and anybody comes to the class, gives a glance, or even the student sitting over there, they look at the board, it looks eye pleasing. Okay, that is called judicious use of the board. 4 things: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I had told you people that if we have to write more content on the board, for which we may have to erase the board, then why not divide the board into parts? Okay, we can divide the board like this also. You have the option of ruler also over here, so you can use that option also. So we can first of all try to fill this part, then this, and then this. By the time we come here, I expect that all the students who are slow learners, slow writers must have written this much at least. Then only I'll erase this part, and then by the time the other portion is still available for them to write. This is also judicious use of the board. Instead of dividing, if I write in big font. Like this, if I write the content, means I am not aware of the size of my board. It is clearly evident the width and the length of the board. If I am writing too big, obviously I'll have to erase multiple times. So what about those slow learners? Those who may not have copied the text by the time, either I will have to wait for them, that will be wastage of time of others also, or they will miss their content. So both the things are not ideal, both are not advised. So your font should be appropriate size, which is legible to the last student also, and your board usage should be judicious as well as eye pleasing. Fine. Then awareness of your students while writing. When you're writing, I told you earlier also, if we write like this on an angle, at least I have the eye contact with almost half of the class, little bit of turn, and I can see others also. If I am writing like this, then my back was towards you people. I could not see even a single student in the class. And I have just written one word. If I have to write one sentence or two sentences and I keep writing like this, whatever is happening at my back, I am not aware. So you have to either break. If you have to write like this only, facing the board, you have to write small content and then just give an eye to your students whether they are following or not. Then your blackboard writing, I told you already, I have not used this board too much, but when I am writing, I'll at least try to write as better as possible. I didn't write too slow also. I didn't write clumsy, too clumsy. If it is too clumsy, you can tell me, I don't mind. You have seen the writings on the board today. I told you I am not a frequent user of this thing like you people, but I can't make it as an excuse for not writing the way I am expected to write as a teacher. Fine. My letter formation cannot go wrong. It is cursive. Even if I have to write capital, I'll write A like this only, no? Can't write A like this. Can't say it is the fault of the board. If B has to be this, it has to be like this only, no? Can't write B like this. So letter formation, wrong letter formation cannot be substituted by this excuse, whether we are writing on the whiteboard or on the green board or on the smart. Formation has to be correct at least. Okay. Bhai Sahab? We can't say it is the fault of the board. Others also, those who were writing, even in English, you can't make an excuse that it is because of the board that our letter formation is not correct. Handwriting, still I can understand, can be little haywire. But letter formation, if it is wrong, it is wrong. You need to learn correct letter formation. Okay? Then, drawing. I told you people, almost everybody lost points for drawing because we never consider that we can include drawing. But when we are going for a demo, anywhere for an interview, we should try that we should show our maximum skills. Drawing is an art, is a skill. if we are able to show that skill, it will definitely add to our points. Even if it is not there in the mind of employer, he will feel happy and pleased to see you drawing well. Suppose it was about trees, little bit of drawing if we could have shown. If it is about the bonding and all, there कुछ भी, just to show that we can draw also. Okay, any shapes. You are writing anything, write in a shape. Somebody wrote in the cloud, I felt good. Means you have a hand for drawing also. You are showing your skill. If you can sing a bit, sing, doesn't matter. If you can act a bit, act. You are showing your skills, that you are much more than just a reader and a writer. Okay. Then those difficult words which I said, if the situation is real classroom teaching, you are expected to let the children know what are the words which are very important and may be difficult for them from the point of view of spellings. And if you write those words on the board, it is always better. They will visualize and keep it in their memory for a longer time. Asking the students to note down is very important. It is not one time only. In demo also you can just say, assume the student, okay beta, note down what I am writing. Okay, let me check whether you have written correct or not. Fine. For that you have to take the rounds in the class also. Okay. And in a classroom, you have to do it multiple times and number of times. You have to keep reminding children, okay beta, write down, note what I have written. Have you noted? Okay. You check the way he did. He went, he checked and found that notebooks were not there. But those who had the notebooks, whether they are writing correct or not, you have to ensure this thing multiple times. It is not that once only you will visit and after that you will forget. Okay. Confidence comes with preparation. If you are 100% prepared, you will be confident. And if you are confident, your body language will also be positive. If you are less prepared, you will lose confidence and your body language also will drop. Voice has to be appropriate, neither too high nor too low. Too high is also a problem, too low is also a problem. It has to be appropriate, and then there has to be variation in your voice. Whichever language you are speaking, you cannot speak in flat tone. You have to think about the intonation, the variation, high pitch, low pitch, okay, speed. So all these things add to what a teacher says to ensure that the children are listening to you attentively. They try to copy you also. So if you are speaking well with proper variations, they will try to copy that kind of style. Okay. The language which you are speaking and writing, you have to be very sure it is correct, whether you are going for a demo or you are writing in the classroom. You cannot afford to speak wrong, because the students will catch that same wrong thing, they will learn wrong, they will write wrong in future. You cannot afford to write wrong. Again, the students will learn wrong, they will write wrong in future, in exams, they may lose marks. And second thing is about impression, whether it is on the employer or on the students. If you are writing wrong, if somebody points at you, चाहे वो employer, चाहे वो student, then it becomes a cause of embarrassment also. Being a teacher, you have not focused on how correct you could have spoken, how correct you could have written, which results in that embarrassment when somebody points at you. So be double, triple, 4 times sure whatever you're going to speak in the class, you should speak correct. For that, if you have to do practice, do it before you go to classroom or before you go for a demo session. As much practice you want to do it of your spoken as well as written. And ensure when you are going for a demo, whatever you have prepared, stick to that. In the flow, just don't try to speak or write what you are not prepared for. You will be caught. If you will make mistake over there, instead of creating a good impression, you will create a bad. So that's why I'm saying we have to be very well prepared when we are going for a demo, and speaking and writing are important aspect of that. We have to practice speaking also. We have to practice each and every word which we are going to write on the board also, and ensure that the spellings are also correct. Don't take a chance. Eye contact, when I say eye contact, it has to be with all who are sitting in front of you, not only one side of the class or one person in the interview room. As many persons, human beings, souls are sitting in front of you, you must have your eye contact with each one of them while you are teaching. For that, you have to constantly keep shifting your focus from one side to other side. Every person should know that you never know when the teacher is going to look at me in my eyes. Okay, they'll be alert. If you're having eye contact with a few only, remaining will sleep. Because I know this thing, I don't let people sleep. अभी भी जितने सो रहे हैं कि जब मेरी नज़रें घूम जाती हैं फिर अचानक जाग जाते हैं, ओह सर मेरा. Okay, and the same thing is interaction. Related to this, when you are having eye contact with people, you will be able to interact with them, all of them. If you are having eye contact with everybody, you can ask anybody because they are looking at you. You are looking at them, they are looking at you, and you must have a healthy interaction. Like I said, if there are 3 rows in the class, from each row, you should, if you are going to ask one question to one student from one side, make sure from each row at least one student you are asking. Like I said, judicious use of the board, it is the judicious use of the classroom presence also. Asking only from one side of the students and ignoring the other side is not a sign of a good teacher. Not even a single side should be ignored when you are teaching, and especially the ones who are trying not to have eye contact with you, trying to feel shy, trying to look down, trying to look here and there. You have to ensure that they are also involved in the classroom teaching and they also get what you mean to teach. Like when you said no learning objective, one teacher could tell the learning objective. If one student is able to answer or read the poem the way you wanted, recite the poem the way you wanted, learning objective is not achieved. That was not like 100% correct statement when you said कि हाँ learning objective achieve हो गया. Learning objective achieve करने के लिए you need to take random sampling, not 1, 3, 4, 5 of them. If they are able to recite the poem in the way you wanted them to recite, then you can say learning objective achieved. Not because of one student, especially that also when she is also from the same language. हिंदी वाले अध्यापक से पंजाबी की कविता वैसे उच्चारण करवाना था, फिर होता लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव अचीव, राइट? सो लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव cannot be based on one student's feedback. The feedback has to be comprehensive. Like I said, a random sample of at least 10% of the classroom. 40 बच्चे हैं, 4 से तो कम से कम सैंपल लें तो हम श्योर होंगे कि लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव अचीव हुआ है, वो भी हमारी मर्जी के बच्चे, रैंडम. ओके, द बेस्ट थिंग आई टोल्ड यू पीपल, स्लिप्स रखा करो अपने पास हर वक्त. रैंडम सैम्पलिंग स्लिप जिसकी निकली है उससे करो. 4 की रैंडम सैम्पलिंग होगी. यू आर नॉट श्योर किसका नाम आने वाला है, दे आर नॉट श्योर किसका नाम आने वाला है. बाय दिस वे एटलीस्ट यू हैव कन्फर्म्ड कि हाँ रैंडमली 4 ने कर दिया तो इसका मतलब अब अचीव हो गया. ओके, देन योर वे ऑफ टेकिंग आंसर्स or asking the students to read. This is also very important when you are, especially when you are delivering the lessons of your literature, चाहे इंग्लिश का, हिंदी का या पंजाबी का, कोई भी लिटरेचर है. if you are asking the students to read, कैसे बोल रहे हैं उनको पढ़ने के लिए? Are you calling them here in front, facing the audience and recite, or you are telling them वहीं से खड़े खड़े बोल दो? Creates a difference. Fine. Long answer है, are you calling them here and asking them to answer facing the audience so that everybody can listen, or from one side only where half can listen, half cannot listen. It matters. So our efforts should be that whatever is happening in the class, everybody should be beneficiary of that. Downward filtration, I have told many a times. Today it was not possible because almost everybody was aware. When you are teaching in the real classroom teaching situation where the students may not be knowing the answers, to ensure that they know the answers by getting the answers from some person who knows it already and then asking him to repeat is very important aspect, has to be done in the classroom. Many times when I go for CROs, I observe that is not happening. Should happen. Each and every student should understand what we have to teach in the class. That should be the ultimate target of every teacher. Fine? Encouragement to the student who answered. Some did very well. In some cases, it was like, okay, good, very good, shabash, baith jao. Why not get them appreciated by others? I would always love to see this happening. If somebody has answered, okay, clap for him. इतना तो बोलना होता है ना. Only I am appreciating and the whole class is appreciating. There's a great difference. तो person feels happy कि हाँ मैंने आंसर किया, पूरी क्लास से अप्रिशिएट कराया मेरे को सर ने. एंड नंबर ऑफ टाइम उसमें क्या है, एक हाउ लॉन्ग इट टेक्स. ओके, क्लैप फॉर हिम. उतना ही टाइम लगता है जितना मैं बोलूँगा उतना में लगेगा. बट ऑन वन हैंड ओनली आई एम डूइंग, ऑन द अदर हैंड होल क्लास इज डूइंग. Taking rounds in the class to ensure that they are writing correct, and when you are reading, they are pointing the fingers at the words where it is being read is important. If you are going for a demo also, then also you will show this skill that okay, I am aware of my classroom, I am aware of my students, what are they doing. Even if it is imaginary situation and you go and take around, okay fine, let me see what you are writing, but you have written this wrong, okay look at the board, just correct this thing. Imaginary hai, but you are at least showing no that I am aware. In the real classroom also I will do like this. If I can do in imaginary situation, then obviously in the real classroom when the students are in front of me, I will be doing the same thing. So that also adds to it. Use of teaching aids, we often ignore. Especially when we get appointed, when we become real teachers, then we feel that teaching aids are not required at all. I have seen many people for demo, they come well prepared with the teaching aids. But when they are appointed and they go to classroom, then they feel, "Unki karna, unte mil gayi naukari, chaddo pare." Not fair. By showing good use of teaching aids, you got the job, and when you got the job, then you are not doing justice with the students by not taking any teaching aids to the class, whether self-made or purchased or brought from somebody or taken from somebody for some time only. Other teachers are also there. It may happen in the school that you want to teach a topic. For that particular topic, some other teacher might be having a teaching aid. You can go and request the teacher also, can I use it for a day? If you don't want to make it yourself. We should always be resourceful. No, teacher has to be resourceful. All those who have studied B.Ed, they must have come across this statement. A teacher is supposed to be very resourceful. So utilize all your resources and try that you carry some teaching aids to classroom where you can give a hands-on feeling to the students. Like you were carrying those bonds and all, elements and all. How good they feel when they get it in their hands and they actually use those things. See, feel. That adds to your lesson. So please give a due importance to teaching aids. Then your technology. Last point. When you have technology and if you are not making the best use of that technology, it means you have wasted that technology. You know how much this board can do. And if still you are not using that much or not using it at all or using it as only whiteboard, then what is the fun of having this smart interactive board with internet connection? So when you are planning your lessons, please plan in such a way that you give due importance to the technology which is available. And like I told you people, I am very much in favor of not wasting the classroom teaching learning point for dictating or for writing on the board. Right? How much time you will save if you already have the content written in the soft copy or in the image form or in any other form, typed form, whatever form. You have taught your lesson, students have understood your lesson. Now you expect them to write question answers. Now you expect them to write letters, long letters. Now you expect them to write paragraphs. Then why not simply display the content and take rounds in the class and ensure all the students are writing correctly? Okay, it is already there. The content which you have shown to the students, which they are expected to write, is already there. You are not wasting time in writing now. Your children are doing what they are supposed to do, and side by side you are taking rounds and you are correcting. You are ensuring that they are copying correct from the board. Even if you dictate, there are chances they will write wrong spellings, because for that you will have to keep writing on the board. Whatever tough spellings are there, you have to write on the board. Otherwise the children will write wrong. Fine. Or you have to be very confident that all your students know all the spellings. If you have to only dictate, in that case only they can write correct. But we all know that spellings are a big cause of concern for most of the students. So in order to ensure that at least when they write in their classwork notebooks, they are writing correct, so that in future they can learn also correct. If we follow this, it is always better. Teacher acting as facilitator, ensuring that the students are writing correct, rather than wasting time in only writing on the board. Okay? If you have to show your writing skills, if you have to show your usage of board, you can show that while explaining, when you have to write in less quantity. But longer text, bigger text, whenever you have to write, it will always be better if you can just display it, let the students note down, and you focus on students more than writing on the board at that time. Okay, I hope everything clear.